Salvatore Lucania, a name lost to history, overshadowed by the legend it would become. Charles Lucky Luciano. Born in Sicily in 1897, Luciano's story is one of ambition, ruthlessness, and an unyielding will to power. His journey began on the rugged slopes of Sicily, a land where poverty and opportunity danced a dangerous tango. At the tender age of 10, his family crossed the Atlantic, seeking a better life in the burgeoning chaos of New York City. Little did they know they were delivering the architect of America's criminal underworld. The Lower East Side became his crucible, a melting pot of immigrant dreams and gang violence. Luciano, a young man with fire in his eyes, quickly ascended through the ranks of the Five Points gang. He learned the brutal language of the streets, where loyalty was fluid and betrayal was a constant threat. This was his education, a crash course in survival and the acquisition of power. The early 20th century saw New York City in the grip of Prohibition. Alcohol was outlawed, but the thirst remained, creating a black market more lucrative than any legitimate business. Luciano, with his street smarts and ambition, saw an opportunity. He wasn't content with petty street crime. He envisioned a criminal empire. He forged alliances, playing rival gangs against each other. He understood that chaos breeds opportunity. His ruthlessness became legendary. He orchestrated the downfall of his former bosses, paving the way for his own ascension. The Castellammarise War, a bloody conflict that engulfed New York's underworld, became his proving ground. Luciano, a master strategist, used the conflict to eliminate his rivals and consolidate his power. By its end, he stood atop the ruins of the old order, ready to build his own. Luciano was not just a gangster, he was a visionary. He saw the chaos and infighting that plagued the Italian Mafia and sought to impose order. His solution was as audacious as it was effective: the formation of the Five Families. He brought together the most powerful Mafia families in New York, establishing a council to maintain order and maximize profits. This was a seismic shift in organized crime, a move away from the old world traditions and into a new era of cooperation and strategic planning. The Five Families, Bonanno, Colombo, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese, became synonymous with organized crime in America, each with its own territory, hierarchy, and rackets, all operating under the watchful eye of Luciano, the capo di tutti capi, the boss of all bosses. Section 4, a pact with the devil, Luciano and the government. Luciano's influence extended far beyond the back rooms of speakeasies and the docks of the waterfront. He understood that real power lay not just in muscle, but in influence. He cultivated relationships with politicians, judges, and even law enforcement officials. During World War II, Luciano made a fateful deal with the US government. In exchange for lighter prison sentences for him and his associates, he would use his influence over the waterfront to prevent sabotage by Axis powers. It was a controversial move, a pact with the devil that demonstrated Luciano's reach and pragmatism. This alliance with the government solidified Luciano's power and further blurred the lines between the underworld and the legitimate world. He had become an unseen hand, shaping events from the shadows. Section 5, Lucky's dice never stopped rolling. The nickname Lucky was no accident, it was earned. Early in his career, Luciano survived a brutal attack. Left for dead, he lived to tell the tale, forever marked by the experience. Some whispered of a deal with the devil, but Luciano knew better. Luck was a tool, something to be cultivated and used to his advantage. His luck, however, would eventually run out. In 1936, District Attorney Thomas Dewey, a man who built his career on dismantling organized crime, finally brought Luciano down. Convicted on charges of compulsory prostitution, a charge Luciano always denied, he was sentenced to 30 to 50 years in prison. Prison, however, could not contain Luciano's influence. From behind bars, he continued to pull strings, orchestrating deals and maintaining his grip on the underworld.